Well, it's time. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. How is everyone doing? It's nice to welcome you in from the cold. Oh, that's over with already, thank God, okay. Welcome to our special day of our week, of course, that begins Friday night at sundown, that we have been given the designation, thanks to God, of Shabbat. Over my decades, of being a rabbi, there have been times when people have come to me and said to me, Rabbi, my life is a mess. I'm sick. This has happened to me. This other thing is terrible. I'm so depressed. There's like a black cloud over my head. Rabbi, I don't deserve what God is doing to me. And there are times when, of course, the appropriate thing, as anyone with counseling would do, is just to listen. But when I would think it would be appropriate, I would say to that person, let me ask you a question, if I may. Were there any times in your life where things were going really well and everything was cool and wonderful? And this person would say, yeah, a lot of times. It was really good. And I said to this person, let me ask you the question then. Another question. Did you ever say at that time, God, do I deserve such good things and life going well? And they would look at me and they say, nah, I deserved it. The story of Joseph, which we are reading in our continuing reading in our Torah this week, and next week will be the last one of the end of the story, is really all about how we deal with the good times as well as the bad times in our lives. Because if I could go back in a time machine, which I really wish I could, I'm sure most of you wish you could, to ancient times and interview Joseph and would say to him, when you were in that pit, did you say to God, I don't deserve this? And then when you were in the palace and the most powerful man in all of Egypt, did you also say, I didn't deserve it? And I bet you a person of such great faith as Joseph was would in both instances say, I don't deserve it. And therefore everything, both the good, the great times, as well as the not good times, are a part of God's plan for me. And so as we move along with the story of Joseph through the weeks that we've experienced it, and by the way, and again, I've said this before, and that is that more of the Torah is spent on his life than any other person aside from Moses. But Moses, of course, is spread throughout four of the books. But in terms of one condensed story, it's all about Joseph, the son of Jacob. And it's all about faith. As you'll see later on in the Torah reading tonight, when he reveals himself to his brother to be Joseph, their brother, who they threw into the pit, and at one point thought of actually taking his life out of their jealousy, is that he had power to do anything he wanted to them and to wreak revenge and even death upon them, or execution. But instead, he said to them, as you'll hear, what you did to me was really the hand of God bringing me to this moment in life in order for me to be in this position of power to save you, my family. Because there's another very important value in this wonderful story of Joseph, and that it's all about mishpacha. Well, he didn't know Yiddish. Okay, Yiddish had not been invented yet. It's all about family. You are my brothers, and therefore I will simply take care of you as I can for the rest of your lives and beyond. And so think about your lives, the good times and the not so good times, and how does it fit into the scheme of God and the hand of God in your lives as well? And can you say in both instances, God is with me, I have no fear, Adonai li v'lo ira, as we sing at the end of Adon Olam, which we will not sing now. That would be a good lead-in, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would be good.
If it's the end of the service, of course.
Right, so maybe not a lead in, maybe a lead out.
Okay.
Yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 mikol Lord mayim rabim adirim mishvereyam mikol Lord mayim rabim adirim mishvereyam yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yada dai da dai yai dai dai dai.
As we now have that nigun within our hearts and souls, bringing the joy of Shabbat into our very being and into this holy place, we turn to page 120 for the lighting of the Shabbat candles. And for the Kiddush, the next page, as I call forward, Shari and Nathan Sklar. Read that first, and then.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
How did you do that? Wow, it's a miracle. Olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel shan. Amen. Did I hear Hanukkah somewhere? I don't know. It's over. Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. And we turn the page 100. Oh, sorry, page 122 for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen.
Amen. I'll read this in English.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ihu yom tehila lemikraye kodesh zecher letzion mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. God bless both of you always. We now continue our welcome of Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, B'melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeidchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, B'melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
With our welcome, L'chadodi, page 138, verses as always 1, 2, 5, and 9 when we stand and welcome Shabbat here into our holy place with the Sabbath bride.
L'chadoidi likrat koila b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadoidi likrat koila b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmiyanu. El Hamyochad Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad Leshemu Tiferet Ve'elichila Lechadoiti Likrat Gola B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lechadoiti Likrat Gola B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor v'zachor. Oh, I did that, didn't I? Likrat Shabbat Lechom v'nerkachim mikor Hamerach Hamerosh mikedem Nesucha Sof Maaseh V'machshava tchila Lechadoidi likrat kola B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lechadoidi likrat kola B'nei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri kiva orech Kuhumi ori Shida beri kivod Adonai Alayich nigla Lechadoiti likrat koila B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lechadoiti likrat koila B'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi b'shalom Ateret balakam besimcha Uhi etzola hatochem Am Sekula, Mo'i Chala, Mo'i Chala, Lehichadoiti, Lehichatkoila, Pnei Shaiman Nekabela, Lehichadoiti, Lehichatkoila, Pnei Shabbat Nekabela.
We turn now to page 146 as we remain standing for the Baruch Hu, as we offer our prayers of thanksgiving before God on this day, Shabbat.
Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai, yai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai, yai dai, yai dai dai dai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise the Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Please be seated as we turn the page. Praise to you, page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night as heaven spans to infinity. You set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows together. Baruch atah Adonai, Mariv Aravim. Amen. We turn the page.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha havta, Amcha havta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta, Otanu lemadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu, u'kumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Yisrael.
We stand, page 152, if it is your custom to do so, for the Shema, as we join together in the proclamation of our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
And together in the English, Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated as we turn the page for, of course, the Via Hafta.
We read together in the English on page 154. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Emet. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world that is far from wholeness and peace, that is shalom, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is but one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered, and at Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. So though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision, dear God, your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
As we turn the page, and as we have done it during all of these weeks, that our brothers and sisters in Israel have been held captive as hostage, let us reflect on a meditation way of the Mi Chamocha, and pray that as we offer these words with fervent heart and soul, that we will send forth a prayer so that soon the hostages will be freed and they will be able to join with our ancestors as they stood at the shores of the Red Sea, finally breathing the air of freedom and being able to sing Mi Chamocha.
Yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 da da die Yada die, yada die, die, yada die, die, die. Yada die, yada die, die. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeh hayam livnei Miriam. Zeli hanu ve'ameru Adonai imloch leolam leolam vahed. Yada die, yada die, yada die, die, die. Yada die, yada die, yada die. Yada die, 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 yada die, die, die. Yada die, yada die, die, die. V'ne'emar ki v'Adonai et Yaakov, u'ge'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Amen. Page 160 for Hashkivenu.
I'm back.
I was thinking about you this week. I was going to call you, but I didn't know if you would be back. Yeah. You're still in Tennessee.
Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha, u'shmor tzeiteinu voheinu. Ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha, u'shmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Aporei Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace, shalom, is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem, and over all humankind. Amen. We turn the page as we join together in V'shamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berid olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berid olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael otid leolam, otid leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berid olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berid olam. Vayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berid olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berid olam.
Many decades ago, I was interested because some friends of ours back north in the synagogue there were Masons, and some of them were masters of their lodge. And also I was interested in the biblical references that were made, especially to the temple in Jerusalem. So I joined a lodge up north, and I went through all of the rituals and ceremonies and actually went up to the 32nd degree. Wow, okay. But I learned that the secret handshake, okay, and that's the whole thing, the secret Mason's handshake that only Masons know. So for those of you that we have quite a few people here who have never been here to Temple Sinai tonight, and you saw us going, ooh, and you say, what is that? Okay. What goes along with your membership, okay, is you will learn the secret movement that we have that only Temple Sinai people know. It will be taught to you in my office with a door locked so that you will not be able to share that with anyone else at that moment. So please speak to the Riegers and they will sign you up and you will have, this is better than a handshake. This is wonderful. Woo! Let us turn it out. You wonder where I was leading to, didn't you? Page 164, we stand for tefillah, the essential part of our worship service.
No, I was. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotzeinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטמנו, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם. מכלכל חיים וחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך. מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים לכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Let us continue praying silently through page 140, offering the prayers that we find in these pages or any other words, thoughts, and feelings or images that come to our minds and hearts and souls at this time on Shabbat. And then when you are finished, please be seated.
Say Adonai Eloheinu Behamecha Yisrael Utefilata Me'ahava רצון. תמיד אבותיי ישראל, ישראל עמך, אל קרוב לכל קוראיו, פני אל עבדך וחוננו, שפוך רוחך ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון. מרחמים ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
Turn in our prayer books to page 362 for the Torah service, and I call forward to open the Ark doors Michael Portner and Marie Haynes Portner. Mari, please come forward to open the Ark doors for us, and Fred Simon to bring the Torah to all of us.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Galu Adonai iti, udemromema shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagidula vehagivura ve'atiferet ve'hanetzach ve'hahod. Bashamayim uvaretz, Ichol bashamayim uvaretz, Lecha Adonai hamelacha, Le'amina Yasein lechol lerosh Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim Ha'olam omed Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim Ashlosha devarim Ha'olam omed Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Ye kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Ye kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu
Working out the sound system, apparently. This wonderful man over there said, "You sound like you're in this building, and I sound like I'm in the other building. We don't even have another building." So, okay, anyway, everyone, Shabbat Shalom again. What we're going to do is we're going to call forward, and by the way, this was Lynn's idea. We're going to have a small celebration tonight of all the learning that goes on here at Temple Sinai. So I'd like to call forward, if you feel comfortable coming up, if you're able to come all the way up. If not, you can stand down on the floor. And that is everyone who attends the Cantor's Talmud class, My Basic Judaism class, or if you came yesterday to the Tefillin class, come on up to say the bracha, the blessing over the Torah.
Choir is also.
Choir.
Yes.
Everyone, come on up here. No, it's almost going to be everybody.
They learn.
Every person who is no, we can't do that. Now, I want everyone who is sitting not to feel badly at all, okay? We love you. We love you. However, this indicates one of, I think, as I've discovered in this little bit over a year that I've been with Temple Sinai, one of the things that makes Temple Sinai the very special place it is, and that is the desire to do what? To learn. It is incredible, right? Look at this. And that's only 3, mine was just one day yesterday with Tefillin. And by the way, if you saw that on Facebook, Tefillin, herring, and schnapps. We had kosher scotch in case any of you are kosher and were wondering if it was acceptable. And if you want me to hold that again for anybody. And we had 2 women yesterday, and there's a great picture of the experience up on here on the Bima that was posted on Facebook. Now, do you know oh my God, look at this screen. Okay, now, aside from the Cantor and Lynn, okay. Yes. Everyone here, you know what? You know the bracha, right? Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Baruch
Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Amen. Now, for those of you who want to follow along in the Chumash, it's page 282. Here is the scene. Joseph's brothers have been put through trials and tribulations by Joseph. I guess you could say that this was his benign way of getting revenge, making life very, very difficult for them. But finally, in this moment, in tonight's Torah portion, he is going to reveal to them who he actually is. Keep in mind, as I said earlier, we have to assume that they believed that he was either dead or in prison or God knows what happened to him, and they were very happy with that. And all of a sudden, by the way, he says that as Joseph says to the courtiers of Pharaoh surrounding him, his guards, etc., servants, I mean, remember, he was the second most powerful man in all of Egypt. Please leave the room. But it's beautiful, and this is so graphic. I mean, make it a movie. Maybe it has been. I don't know. It should be a movie. Netflix would love this. Okay, because imagine they leave the room, but it actually describes in the Torah how some of them actually stood by the doorways and had their ears like this to hear what's going on. And he then says, "Vayomer Yosef el achiv." And so Joseph then says to his brothers, imagine, "Ani Yosef, I am Joseph." They must have went, "Oh my God." Okay. Ha'od avichai. Is my father, Jacob, still alive? That was his main concern. What a boy. V'lo yachlu echav la'not oto ki nivhalu mipanav. And therefore, his brothers could not even answer him because, watch this, folks. See this? Okay. Their knees were shaking out of total fear. Vayomer Yosef el achiv, Geshuna elai, come closer, don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you, Bubbalis. He didn't say that either. V'igashu, and they approached. Vayomer, and notice he probably is looking at their faces and they don't, get out of here, you can't be, he's dead, whatever. Ani Yosef achichem, asher mechatam oti Mitzrayma. He has to prove to them he is Joseph by then saying to them, I am Joseph, your brother. Do you remember you sold me into slavery? And now they knew. V'ata al tiatzvu v'al yichar be'einechem ki mechatem oti yeheina ki lemechiyeh shelachani Elohim lifnechem. And so therefore do not be afraid, my brothers, he said. Wow, amazing scene here, I tell you. He could have had them executed immediately, take them away. But he didn't. He said, come close to me, and let me say to you that you should not be afraid or frightened. I will not harm you. I will do nothing to you because you are my brothers. And because it is Elohim, God, who sent me here before you. Ki zesh natayim barav b'kerev haaretz. For it is that these past 2 years that there was a famine in the land. V'yod chamesh shanim asher ein charish v'katzir. And therefore there'll be 5 more years of famine here, as well as up in the Holy Land. We call the Holy Land Israel or Canaan. V'yishlecheni Elohim lifnechem lashuv lachem sherit ba'aretz. Ulahachayot lachem lifleita gedolah. God has brought me to this place to save you, my family, and also to save my people, so that they will survive the famine and live, as the song goes, to see another day. And by the way, and you've heard me speak about this many times already, Judaism is a linear religion looking forward in time to the future. The future for us is the Mashiach, the time of the coming of the Messiah. And therefore, it is essential that Joseph gets to Egypt, because it is essential in 2 weeks from now, when we start to read the book of Exodus, that there must be a Pharaoh who doesn't know what Joseph did, puts them into slavery, and then to bring them ultimately to where? to Mount Sinai to receive the law of God and continue moving forward in time to this very day that we are living in and beyond. Wow, what a story.
Ta Adonai Eloheinu
melech olam. Amen. And I'd like to welcome Amberly, who was an original bat mitzvah here at Temple Sinai. There she is. I won't say that by far that she's the youngest one standing up here, but I won't, and we're so happy to have Amberly here. So Amberly, God bless you, and to all, God bless you, and to keep on learning. Let's give it up for all of them for their efforts to learn and never stop learning, no matter what the age is. Young, old, it makes no difference at all. Everyone take a seat, thank you. As we now turn in our prayer books. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Now let us turn in our prayer books to page 371 for the Mishaberach prayer. As every Shabbat, we are to offer a prayer for those who are not feeling well. And once again, this list has gotten much too long, gosh. Roz Alster, Maxine Ars, Erwin Botwinick, Margaret Chapman, Lynn Dunton, Elisa Eiserman, Lenore Friedman, Daniel and Thomas Gabor, Marilyn Glass, Carol Goldberg, Anita Goldstein, Fager Goodman, Mel Grebler, Aileen and Joe Greif, and it's wonderful to see Aileen and Joe here tonight. God bless you. James Hernan, Bobby Hyde, Joyce Israel, Reuven Kamian, Florence Carmel, Howard Cohn, Susan Kramer, Marsha London, Jack Crespi, Donna Lopeta, Nelson Rosa Gill Miller, Melvin Mogel, Estelle Morgenstern, Tama Pasternak, Judy Scheinberg, Paul Schoenberg, Sam Shapiro, Bob Silver, Sandy Silver, Harriet Silverman, Jerome and Joyce Simon, Janet Thaler, Zena Wagner, Barbara Weinberg, Warren Weiss, Barry Safran, Stuart Phyllis Eisenberg, Michael Delman, Joyce Amato, Gina Haft, Bernie Schnecken, and also Samantha Adams. Are there any names to be mentioned tonight as I go around? Jane? Yes, Larry? Hannah? Judy? Jamie? Yes. Andrea? Yes. Yes. As we think of all these people in our lives that mean so much to us, let us offer a prayer and a meditation for their well-being. Cantor Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. Bless our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi sheberach avoteinu, mi sheberach imoteinu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Hear our prayer and bless us as well. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer and bless us as well.
We turn to page 374. Let us stand for the turning of the scroll, and I call forward Bob Shoemaker to lift the scroll for us.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. Yai dai dai dai, yai yada dai dai dai, yai yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, dai 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 dai, yai yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Ayim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomeha meushar deracheha narchei noam lechol netivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashava Chadesh Yameinu Yameinu Kekedem.
Be seated. Dear Temple Sinai friends and students, no, this is not my valedictorian speech. This week was the week that was, meaning that a number of very important Jewish events occurred this week, the first full week of the Hebrew month of Tevet. How many of you knew that? Wow, a lot of them. Wow, good. Stan knew. Excellent. The thing is that if we failed to know of these events, well, guess what? You can't learn anything from them because you didn't even know they existed. Remember, a person that fails to learn from the past is going to do what? Just keep on repeating it, and that's not very good, especially if you're Jewish. So let's go back, for instance, 3 days ago to this past Wednesday, the 8th of Tevet. On this day, in the year 246 BCE, in an effort to translate the Torah into Greek, following an unsuccessful attempt 61 years earlier. Imagine. Okay. Remember, this is before the internet and all these things that we communicate with us so easily. Imagine 61 years over 2,000 years ago is a very, very long time. The ruling Egyptian Greek Emperor Ptolemy, maybe some of you heard of him, actually brought together 72 Torah scholars, had them placed in 72 separate rooms, and gave them the homework assignment, so to speak, of translating the entire Torah, all 5 books of Moses, into what language? Greek. Miraculously, every one of them came out at the end of the period of time. Every one of them came out with the exact same Greek translation, even when 13 of them tried to come up with their own interpretations and words. They all agreed word for word. Their translation became known as what? What's the name? The Septuagint, which we still have, and I'm sure Helene has it in her library. And by the way, I don't know if she has it in Greek, but she might have it in English. Yes, of course. Maybe Greek. They have everything. That library has everything, I tell you. Ancient has the Rosetta Stone, I told you a couple of weeks ago. Now, you might say that this is pretty neat, and certainly is quite miraculous, and it was. Let's say 18 of you know French fluently, and I put you into 18 separate rooms and asked you to translate my sermon tonight into French. And you all came out with the exact same French translation. I think that'd be pretty cool. But interestingly enough, with the Septuagint, while the rabbis of the Talmud, remember 246 BCE is when the Septuagint was written. These 72 scholars got together and translated the exact same words and text of the Torah. And the Talmud is at least 300 years or 400 years later. The rabbis of the Talmud saw this miraculous as well. They mentioned the Septuagint, but they were not happy with it at all, because every translation is an interpretation of the text. And they didn't want Greek to come in and possibly influence an interpretation, a new interpretation of the text. And actually, some of the rabbis of the Talmud actually saw the 8th day of the Hebrew month of Tevet as a day of mourning, because it opened the door for future translations of the holy text with ensuing interpretations and worse, misinterpretations. And for a matter of fact, there is no Orthodox yeshiva today which even has the Septuagint in its library, as well as every student in yeshiva will only study texts in Hebrew and no other language, including what? Including English. Well, let's take Thursday now, the 9th day of the Hebrew month of Tevet. What was observed yesterday? The death of Ezra the scribe, who passed away in the year 313 BCE. According to tradition, actually, he died 1,000 years to the day after the Torah was given at Mount Sinai. Wow. Now, you could ask, well, how many of you have ever heard of Ezra the scribe? Okay, not most of you. Yeah, sure. You might not know that he was one of the most important people in Jewish history. Boy, you're missing out on something here. Ezra actually, according to tradition, ranks second in Moses in the hierarchy of transmitters of Torah to the Jewish people. For a matter of fact, the rabbis of the Talmud actually said of him, quote, if the Torah had not been given through Moses, it would have been given through Ezra the scribe. Ezra the scribe, who was he? He led the return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel after the Babylonian exile in the 4th century BCE, oversaw the building of the Second Temple, helped put a stop to the intermarriages that were rampant at that time. He headed the Great Assembly, which canonized the 24 books of our Tanakh, of our Bible, and legislated a long series of laws and practices. Wow, what a resume, what a guy, whom most of you have never heard before. So the rabbis of the Talmud thought that both the 8th day and the 9th day of Tevet were to be back-to-back separate fast days. How many of you fasted this Wednesday? Daytime fast, not 24 hours. Anyone fast Thursday? Okay. Well, why? Because the first one mourned over the Septuagint's creation and all the problems that could ensue, as I described. And the other was, quite often on a yard site, a person will mourn over the death of the loved one, or in this case, Ezra the scribe. However, a lot of fasting in a short amount of time, even the rabbis knew that's a bit much. That's too much for our people. So they decided to take all 3 days and combine them into one day, today. And so today would be the fast day of the 8th and 9th and 10th, all in one day. How lucky can you get? So now, finally, what is today, or what was today, the 10th day of Tevet, all about? On this date, some 2,500 years ago, the armies of the Babylonian Emperor Nebuchadnezzar laid siege to the city of Jerusalem. This was the first of a series of events leading ultimately 2.5 years later to the destruction of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Imagine our Jewish ancestor warriors. I'm not talking about the Maccabees now. Okay, Maccabees about 150 years later. However, imagine holding off the Greek-Syrian armies for 2.5 years. After all, we're now into 2.5 months since the Israel-Hamas war. It seems like forever, doesn't it? I mean, oh my God, isn't it over? What's happened? Enough of this. Well, imagine a war going on for 2.5 years, ultimately ending up on the 9th of Av with, of course, as we all know of that day, which is in the summertime, of the complete and utter destruction of the temple in Jerusalem and the holy city. So today is the big fast day. It's a daytime fast from sunup to sundown, obviously, and it is the only one of all the fast days of the entire year that can be on a Friday or even on a Shabbat. So I'm assuming most of you didn't fast, and I must say I didn't fast today as well, although I held off taking my breakfast for about an hour. Okay. But I did offer certain prayers. However, what can we learn from all of this? I have 6 points. 1, Jewish tradition can be compassionate and not asking anyone, even the Orthodox, to fast for 3 days in a row. Okay, that's 1. 2, Jewish history is very interesting. I hope you found this interesting. I won't ask you to show your hands for that one. Number 3, we should study Jewish history so that we will not be taken by surprise or to find that a person of some of us never heard of, Ezra the scribe, is as important as even a Moses. Wow. 4, why translations like the Septuagint, and for matter of fact, even the red Chumash that you have in your seats, sitting in front of you, can be so important and influential. And guess what? As some of us have learned in a special program that we just concluded last Shabbat, in that the Reform movement is working toward the publication of a new Chumash. Every Chumash, every translation into any language you can think of is an interpretation of the Hebrew text. That's why Helene's class is so, I forgot to mention your class before, sorry Helene, but I'm assuming your students came up, and that is to learn Hebrew. Number 5, we need to study the tragedies of our Jewish people, all of them to this very day, so that we will never, God willing, experience them again. And 6, that Jewish history has so much to teach us about people, about events, and about life. And so, I emphasize, we should never stop learning, and guess what? Temple Sinai is the best place to learn. Join us for all of our programs, and someday all of you, will be able to stand up here and give thanks to God for the Torah, the basis of all our learning. So, to all of you, Shabbat Shalom, and a good Tevet to all. Amen. Let us stand now for the Aleinu, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגלור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please remain standing for the Kaddish prayer on page 598. I thank Mary and Michael, and also Michael is the inspiration for our doo-wop Shabbat in February. So thank you, Michael, for all of your efforts, and it'll be a wonderful night. Make sure Friday night, February 16th. And so we observed the following deaths during the past 30 days, including, sadly, Mel Greenglass, a friend of Judy Herman, who passed away today. We also remember Stephen Lopater, Marcia Margaret Bernstein, Abraham Kudzel, Ruth Seidel, and Julia Miller. The following are to be remembered by plaques that we have gracing our walls: Wilma Ackerman, Joseph Avagran, Irving Berg, Lee Blum, Sadie Brownbrut, Raina Breadbar, Henry Brenner, Louis Kazan, Joseph M. Cohn, Harry Davidowitz, Mama Efferman, Becky Furstenberg, Lillian Gordon, Esther Gottlieb, Joseph Isaacson, Isaac Japik, Marjorie Kremer, Audrey Kurland, Kurt Landsberger, Philip Leiterman, Beverly Lipman, Joseph Marks, Karen L. Moore, Lester L. Ostrov, Ida Sarah Reich, Corinne Rothenberg, Alice Samuel, Jean Schachter, Rose Sabel, Rose Turetsky, Reba Weinstein, Bebby Weinstock, Lillian G. Weiss, Herman Wolfson, and Joseph Yodowitz. Also, we remember tonight Miriam Brown, Terry Susan Cooper, Bernice Gable, Leonard Gordon, William Gordon, Joseph H. Greenfield, Stephen Gross, Ernest Hirsch, Jane Karp, Sally Levin, Grace Lichtman, Jack Miller, Sidney Mira, Ira Moss, David Savell, Deborah Stevens Santamarita, Esther Tamber, Sophie Venetia, Ellen Bonnie Weiser, and Mitchell Sade. Are there other names to be mentioned for Yahrzeit tonight? Steve? Yes.
Shirley Gordon.
Oh, yes. Anyone else? Also remember all of those who have died for our people's history with the name of God impressed upon their lips, and certainly those who have died for our nation. We join together and pray. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma devrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivorach, le'olam olamei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu, le'elo min kol bechata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran b'yalma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shalom rabbo min shemaya, v'chayim oleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru. May God who creates peace in the heavens grant peace and comfort to all those who mourn, to those who remember, and of course let us all say,
Amen.
please be seated, and I call forward Lynn Weinstein for our announcements, co-president of Temple Sinai. Excuse me, let me just take this. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I really am thrilled to see guests here tonight, and we welcome all of you, and we welcome everyone who is on screen. Our Shabbat services this evening are sponsored by Joyce Ross in memory of her father, Jack Miller, Ethel Greenblatt in memory of her mother, Esther Gottlieb, Lynn Birkin and family in memory of Lynn's mother, Jane Karp, Lucy and David Roth in memory of Lucy's father, Stephen Gross. Many friends have made donations to our community food pantries this week, including Ruth Kurland in memory of her daughter, Audrey Kurland, Joan and Jack Halpern in memory of Joan's mother, Lillian Gordon, Ethel Greenblatt in memory of her daughter, Esther Gottlieb, Harriet Meyer in honor of her daughter, Deborah's birthday. Our sisterhood sponsorships for the Oneg tonight include Evelyn Slapin in honor of her birthday, Elaine and Steve Young in honor of Steve's birthday, Marion Martin Shear in honor of Martin's birthday, Helene and Melvin Grebler in honor of Helene's birthday, Alicia and Hector Dravandi in honor of their wedding anniversary, Marjorie and Cantor Remy Brown in honor of their wedding anniversary, and Judy and Rabbi Steve in memory of their fathers, Sidney Mirror and Ira Moss. Tomorrow, Saturday's Shabbat study group is sponsored by Sheldon Marks in memory of his father, Joseph Marks. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And yes, what would a night be without announcements? So please pay attention to all that I have to say. We'll go home around 11 p.m. Thank you, Rabbi Steve, student cantor Dan, and Dr. Dave McFarland, along with thank you to the greeters, ushers, Zach Nissenbaum, and Eddie Ames at the computer terminal for controlling our video tonight. And thanks to everyone who participated in our services. And Dr. Dave, Merry Christmas to you and everyone at our partner, St. Paul's Church. Now, everyone, please listen carefully. You always hear, save the date. Well, yes, save this most important date. Sunday, March 10th at 4:00 in the afternoon for Temple Sinai's very special gala. We'll be honoring Rabbi Steve for his 50th year of ordination and celebrating and as we learned, our future is very important. We're celebrating the bright future of Temple Sinai. Everyone will be hearing more and more about this special day at Temple Sinai. Please also plan to reserve your seats tonight for one of the best bands in South Florida who will be here on Sunday night, January 14th, just 3 weeks away. The Wolfpack Band plays music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and what great music and memories we'll have a chance to share. Please see Betty Adams at the Oneg, and you're going to get a treat from me because I'm doing this tonight. And if you're not able to see her at the Oneg, please pay attention to, you can call 561-276-6161, extension 128, and someone will return your call and help you make a reservation. Do a mitzvah at the end of this secular year, and please help the Big Red Bus staff save lives. Blood donations are scheduled for Wednesday afternoon, December 27th, from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. All of the donors will receive a gift card from the Big Red Bus and a wellness check. Once again, Wednesday here in our parking lot from 3:30 to 6:30. Also, sign up tonight for the Florida Follies. There is information at the back of the social hall. The Florida Follies are forever young Follies performers, and that is scheduled for Sunday afternoon, March 24th at 2 p.m. You can also sign up for the Murakami outing that is scheduled. There's a flyer at the back of the room for that. There are also reservation forms. Is someone from Sisterhood going to take reservations tonight? Thank you, Hannah. Thank you. All right, Brotherhood encourages you to pay attention to several events as well. Rabbi Charles Agan will be here on Sunday, January 7 at 1 p.m. speaking about the mystery of the disappearing gold. It sounds like a real interesting one, but it's very specific goal. He's sure to be interesting. Rabbi Agan has spoken here many times. Also, Brotherhood reminds you that the baseball game on Sunday, March 17th to see the Mets and the Nationals requires rapid registration, so please see Jay Sweet or Eric Adams later at the Oneg. The Spanish River Concert Series is offering single tickets now for events through the series. If you are here tonight, you can see Harvey Fields and he will assist you. Or you can call 561-276-6161, extension 114, and then Harvey or Sherry will return that call to assist you. Temple Sinai is proud to be collecting tzedakah for a new project that we are participating in called Bridge of Hearts, along with a social service agency in Israel called Life's Door. We'll be doing volunteer work assisting the social workers and staff in Israel as we move ahead, but we're also collecting tzedakah funds for this very worthy organization that's helping homebound seniors whose care providers, be they family members or paid care providers, are assisting in the war effort. Please be generous. The tzedakah bowls are at the back of the social hall. Once again, we welcome everybody to our congregation at all times. If you have any questions about membership, please see Joan and Stan at the Oneg. If you have questions in general about the congregation, our board members are wearing their blue pins, and we're here to assist you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. So, Cantor, what song, what prayer?
Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel Oh, say shalom bimromav. Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel ve'himru Amen.
Dear God, may it be that Joseph shall be our role model to teach us the path to emunah, the path to faith, to know, dear God, that you are with us through all of life, and thereby our lives will be filled with blessings, the blessings of health, happiness, peace, and always of love. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.